Hello. I know I've shown y'all how I do my steaks before, but it's been a little while. So tonight I've got it's a spray duck fat. It's not as, not as much fat. I'm just not adding the extra fat right now. Just kind of, trying things different. Still eating the same thing, but maybe not adding quite as much extra fat. Got my cast iron skillet heated up real good. Oh, that's not still frozen. There's a little ice on this, so I was wondering. This is one of those, I think it was chuck steak that I cut in this little slices. And this is a ribeye. I still feel ice in it, but only in some places. So it's like, probably just because it's super thick. So, this is how I do mine. Now, since that little one in there is a lot thinner, I'm going to set my timer for 3 minutes. And in 3 minutes, I'm going to flip the little one and keep the big one where it is. And then 3 minutes later, I'll take the little one out. So, this is what I've been eating. Sometimes I do sea salt. This is still, what the heck was that? Kosher salt. So I'm putting just kind of sprinkling some of that on there. To give it a little flavoring for myself. I have learned the hard way. If I want anything like seasoning salt, to do it after it's all done cooked, because seasoning salt tends to gum up the bottom of the cast iron. Kind of makes it gummy. So, got my tongs, and I usually just use a paper plate instead of a fancy spoon holder. So that's going to go for 3 minutes. Like I said, then we're going to flip the little one. Because that big one is so thick. Sorry, I haven't wiped this off in a while. And, you know, when you cook stuff in grease, it splatters. So, I'm going to make sure I get this wiped off better. I guess you don't need to see that for the next minute and a half. I'll show you when I need to flip it. Okay. Now, it's got 7 seconds left, so we're going to flip the little one. And then I'll reset the timer. Something just splattered on my wall. So, like I said, that's doggone thin, so I'm going to reset that timer for 3 minutes. Here, I'll show you what I do in my spare time. I had a lady, I make crochet dolls. So there's no hair on her. I was making this one for a lady, and I don't follow a pattern. And ignore that, that's just a tail end. And the lady was aggravated, she wanted the legs to be a little fatter. So, so this doll, she was declined by the purchaser, so I had to make a different one with bigger legs. But anyway, so I crochet dolls in my spare time. And this is one I just finished. Finger puppets. We got a little elephant. We got a little monkey. And we've got a giraffe. And a horse. And there's a dog. There it is. There's a dog. And a little puppy dog. His arm's crooked, but can't straighten it with only one hand. Anyway, so I made finger puppets for a lady at work. That's the animals. Here's the humans. We have a nurse lady. Here's her face up close. So we have a nurse. We have a little boy. We have a little girl. We have a teacher lady. And then we have a policeman. So that is what I do in my evening time. So I come home after work and hurry up and make my supper. So then I can start crocheting. And if you just want to see what I do, definitely, this is not an advertisement. This is just me yammering because you people are kind enough to sit and watch me cook. Anyway, if you go to Facebook, it's called Yarn Diversions. I think Instagram, it's Yarn Diversions. And what is that? Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, both of them. It's Yarn Diversions. Oh, and Etsy. Etsy is called Yarn Diversions. Anyway, okay, so this has been in here 3 minutes on each side. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out. And I forgot to season the second side. So now this one's been on one side for 6 minutes. And I'm putting it on the other side for 6 minutes. The reason why I'm covering it is because I want it to, I want it to get done in the middle. So sometimes I turn my oven on 350 and I'll put it in there for another 10 or 15, 20 minutes, but I'm not sure I'll need to. I'll have to, I guess I could turn on my oven. I can always turn it off if I don't need to. But yeah. So in 6 minutes, I'll show you where we're at. I'm gonna wipe off this wall. All right, it's been 6 minutes. And you know, you heard the method that, like this is rare, that's medium rare, that's medium. So when I push on this, I want my, because I like medium, my steak should feel like that. My steak feels more like medium rare. So I'm going to put it, I got it on 350. I can find my pot holder. Oh, here it is. Move, Sam. Move, puppy. I'm just going to put it in there, leave it on the skillet. It's the great thing about cast iron. Now I'm going to put it in there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just 10 minutes. It's good and seared on the outside. That's one good thing about using that, the aerosol duck fat, is because it gets more of a crispier browning. So anyway, I'm going to leave that in there 10 minutes. And I'll show you how that looks, but let me show you how this looks. This is that little thin one that I did 3 minutes on each side. You see that? It's a little pink. I don't know what's best to have behind it. Anyway, it's just good. So, in 9.5 minutes, and I'll show you when the steak's done. Okay, well, I'm waiting on the last minute and a half. I forgot to tell you all. So today for lunch, today's Sunday. So today for lunch, that chicken that I crock-potted last week, I added 2 boiled eggs to it. And then I added about, I don't know, 2 tablespoons of butter, and kind of made it soft butter, not really wet butter, but not cold butter. Anyway, I put that together, and I had that with some pork rinds, and that was lunch. That was pretty good. And I had it about noon, and I think it's about, let me see what this phone says. It's about 4:30, so it held me over, so that worked out well. It's not something I think that I'd like to take to work, because it kind of takes, I don't know, it's kind of I don't know, just, sorry about that. My alarm went off to make sure I fed the dogs on time. Anyway, I just don't, okay, look how, it just wasn't as fulfilling as the ground beef to take to work, so I won't take the chicken to work. So now, yeah, that feels better. Usually I go on and wash my skillet right away. So I'm going to get this water going. So sorry if that's too loud, but I let it run till it's hot. Just a little bit of liquid to pour over, not a lot. So now I'll let this rest, and then I'll show you what it looks like in just a minute, so that way you can see how it looks. Okay, so usually after I'm done cooking my steak, this is just my evening routine, I wash my skillet, and then I put the stovetop on medium, and then I just let it sit there and dry my skillet while I'm eating. So let's see how this turned out. I think this is gonna be just good. Oh my, yeah. Okay, so there. It's dripping. Dadgummit. So that side's a little less, this is a little more less red. Anyway. Ow. So that is how I do my steaks in the evening. And how I do my cast iron skillet. There's plenty of videos of me. I do my cast iron skillet. I wash it with Dawn. You know, I think back in the olden days they didn't use soap and water because all they had was lye and all kinds of harsh things. So Dawn, it has not ruined the seasoning that I put on my skillet years ago. And this is a soft bristle brush. So I put some Dawn in there and then I scrub it out. And then I dry it off with a paper towel and put it on here. And like I said, I put it on medium and let that dry while I'm eating. And then when I'm done eating, I'll come in and turn it off and I'll just let it cool down on in natural air. And that's my evening routine. So there you go.